The transport vessel drifted through the quiet stretch of space. Near the rim of the Orion Passage, and inside its metal corridors a human, named Devon, walked with slow steps as he tried to understand the assignment he had just accepted. He had been hired as a caretaker for an alien princess, and that alone was unsettling. But what unsettled him more was that the hiring officer had refused to explain any details about the princess herself. The officer had only said that the princess was a diplomatic guest on the station and needed personal assistance because she did not understand human customs. Devon assumed that meant he would be guiding her through daily routines, helping with communication, and keeping her safe from misunderstandings. He had no idea how much the assignment would test him. The vessel docked with the Crescent Spire station, a vast structure of curved silver wings floating above the glowing surface of a red gas giant. Devon stepped out and followed the escort through tall archways lined with crystals that hummed softly. The station felt quiet in an eerie but beautiful way. The escort spoke only once, saying that the princess waited in her private chamber. Devon expected a formal royal suite, maybe guarded by soldiers. But instead, he found a spacious room lit by soft blue panels, decorated with delicate strands of floating light, and filled with a faint scent like winter snow. Standing at the center was the princess. Her name was Lyra, and she belonged to a species known for their serene appearance and graceful movements. Her skin shimmered like pale silver dust, and her eyes glowed gently, as if lit from within. Her hair fell like smooth white silk that shifted color when she moved. She watched Devon with a curious tilt of her head. Devon bowed awkwardly since he had not been trained for any formal greeting. Lyra stepped closer with calm strides and examined him from head to toe. Devon tried to offer a polite introduction, but she moved even closer until her face was only a few inches from his, and she inhaled softly as if analyzing the air around him. He froze at the unexpected gesture. Lyra then stepped back and spoke in a clear, melodic voice that carried an echo he could not explain. She said she accepted him as her caretaker and that she looked forward to learning about humans. Devon relaxed a little, but he still wondered why the hiring officer had acted nervous when assigning him. Lyra seemed peaceful and polite, but he sensed a deeper layer beneath her calm expression. The first day passed smoothly. Devon showed Lyra around the station, explained simple human routines, and taught her how to operate devices. She learned everything with ease. She watched him closely while he demonstrated tasks, and whenever he reached for something, she would mirror the movement with uncanny accuracy. Her attention was intense, but not hostile, and he assumed she was simply thorough. What Devon did not know was that Lyra had been raised among advisors who warned her that human men were unpredictable and might attempt aggressive behavior. She had been told that the safest way to deal with them was to establish dominance early through a cultural method used among her people. She planned to follow that tradition because she did not yet understand that humans had very different interpretations of personal space and contact. On the second day, Devon arrived at her chamber to deliver a schedule update. Lyra approached him and placed her palm lightly on his chest. The gesture startled him, but before he could step back, she traced a small pattern across his shoulder in a way that seemed ceremonial. She declared that the pattern meant he had been accepted into her protective circle. Devon had no idea what that meant. He only knew she had touched him again without warning. Her tone remained calm and her expression soft, so he decided she meant no harm. Later that day, she asked him many questions about human emotions. She seemed fascinated by how humans expressed concern, loyalty, frustration, and joy. She listened carefully to every description he offered and repeated some phrases in her melodic voice to learn their sound. When he explained humor, she admired the concept, but said her species communicated through vibrations and patterns rather than jokes. Through the following days, Devon noticed that Lyra always positioned herself close to him, whenever they walked through the station. She never stayed behind him or far from him. She always matched his pace and kept a deliberate but gentle presence at his side. Several station engineers whispered about it as they passed. Devin felt embarrassed, but could not explain her behavior. Lyra seemed unaware of the attention she drew. Her cultural method of handling human men soon became clearer. Whenever someone tried to speak with Devin or give him instructions, Lyra would step between them and answer first. She believed she was shielding him from potential manipulation. Devin interpreted this as overprotectiveness, but she insisted that her role as a royal figure required her to guard those who served her. She explained that among her people the line between protector and companion was very thin, and those who worked closely with royalty were treated as part of the extended household. The tension grew when another human caretaker named Glenn stopped Devin in a corridor to ask if he needed help with supplies. Before Devin could reply, Lyra appeared behind him almost silently. She placed her hand on Devin's shoulder and gave Glenn a slow stare. Glenn backed away with confusion. Lyra then guided Devin down the corridor without saying a word. When Devin finally asked why she reacted like that, she explained that in her culture, a royal could not allow outsiders to give orders to members of her household. Devin tried to explain that humans saw it differently, but Lyra insisted that she was responsible for his well-being. One evening, Lyra asked Devin to join her in the observation dome. The dome was a vast transparent hall, overlooking the swirling storms of the gas giant below. Light from the planet reflected across her silver skin as she stood near the curved window. She told him she was trying to understand why humans became anxious around her. Devin hesitated, but explained that close contact, especially unexpected touch, could make humans uneasy. Lyra studied him with quiet interest. She asked if he disliked her presence. Devin told her the truth. He said she was kind, thoughtful, and gentle, but her habits were unfamiliar to humans. Lyra processed the information slowly. She stepped back to give him space and asked if this distance felt more comfortable. Devin nodded. She continued observing him in silence, as if adjusting her understanding of him. After a long moment, she said she wished to adapt to human norms because she valued the harmony between their species. Devin felt relieved that she listened with sincerity, but the next day, everything shifted again. The station received a message from Lyra's homeworld. They informed her that political tensions had risen and certain factions opposed her visit to a human-controlled station. There were concerns that someone might try to capture or harm her. Devin was ordered to stay with her at all times. Lyra accepted the news with calm composure. Devin, however, felt a growing weight on his shoulders. Protecting an alien princess from threats was far beyond the duties he expected. When he first arrived, security tightened across the station. Lyra watched the new measures with a thoughtful expression. She asked Devin if humans grew fearful quickly. Devin answered honestly and said fear was a natural reaction when safety was uncertain. Lyra listened and nodded. She told him that her species rarely felt fear because they had strict social structures that reduced conflict. She admitted that she often struggled to understand human emotional shifts. That night, an unexpected power disruption swept through the east halls. Red emergency lights flickered. The unfamiliar vibration in the air signaled that something had breached the outer docking ring. Alarms echoed through the corridors. Devin rushed toward Lyra's chamber, with worry tightening his chest. When he reached her room, he found her standing calmly in the center, unshaken by the noise around them. Devin told her they needed to move to the secure shelter. Lyra agreed and followed him through the dark corridors. The lights flickered rapidly, and strange echoes bounced through the ventilation shafts. Devin's instincts told him that something near them was not part of the station crew. Lyra noticed his tension and placed her hand lightly on his arm. This time her gesture comforted him. She said she would not let any harm reach him, They made it to a junction where two masked intruders emerged from the shadows. Devon froze, but Lyra stepped forward with a calm authority he had never seen before. She released a soft pulse from her hands that created a shimmering ripple in the air. The intruders staggered as if struck by a wave of pressure. Lyra guided Devon behind her and formed another pulse that forced the intruders back. She did not attack them further. She only created enough force to protect their path. They reached the secure shelter, where station guards finally took control of the situation. Lyra sat beside Devon while he tried to steady his breathing. She then explained her earlier protective behavior. Among her people, royal figures used gentle contact to form a sensory reading of those they trusted. She had tried to learn his emotional patterns to ensure his safety. She had not realized that humans interpreted her gestures differently. Devon told her that trust did not require physical contact for humans. She listened closely and apologized for the misunderstandings. Her voice remained steady, but her glowing eyes dimmed slightly in a way that suggested a quiet regret in the following days after the incident.